It's Saturday night, the 18th of April, 109 days of living the dream as I pursue my journey to alignment. Last night I decided to go ahead and commit myself to a power statement that said, I will finish building out lesson 9 today and prepare for Sunday. As you know, the last 3 days have been full of unplanned activities, and so I decided to postpone working on building out lesson 9 and getting it uploaded on my Google Drive. But look at this. Let me show you this. Okay, right here. I start it. There we go.
As a beginner entrepreneur, you will face many challenges, but none of them are as big as trying to find money to start your business. From renting office space, or a production facility, or buying goods and hiring staff, everything you need to do to turn your idea into a viable business enterprise requires money. Unless you're independently wealthy or were left a nesting privilege.
Anyhow, I'm going to play the whole thing. Just know that, as you know, I had held off, but today I committed to it. And so I decided to go ahead and commit to that, and I got it done. Last weekend, I got ahead of myself and said that I was done with 75% of my coaching lessons. But hallelujah, boom, 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 through the portal of my mind to the world of the physical, I can finally and truthfully say that I'm done with 75% of my Living the Dream coaching lessons. I've got 9 of 12 done, just 3 more to go. So bam, done. It took another week to be able to say that, but I'm so glad that it's done. Okay, here's my to-do list, Saturday's to-do list. Top one, finish lesson 9, build out. Check my bill, check my email. I had to pay a couple bills, go through the notes, get ready for my conference calls tomorrow. So anyhow, Saturday, done. Got it done. Now, next, Croy asks me to get honest with myself by asking these questions. What didn't go well today, Marty? Or what could you have done better? Did you wake up early and start strong? Check. Did you start your morning with power? Check. I did my full win the morning, win the day routine, a full hour of it, 25 minutes of exercise. Yay! Were you productive throughout your day? Bam, 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 got it done. Did you get the most important things done? Yes, I did. Did you move your goals forward? Of course I did. So, did you show up as the person you wanted to show up and know who you are and that you wanted to show up that way? Did. Did you have personal time with Kathleen? In other words, were you present for her? Most definitely our whole evening together tonight. Now combine all these questions together with this one question. Were you honest with yourself about today's task, Marty? In other words, did you keep your commitments you made to yourself today? Well, having a couple of days where I chose to go off the rail a little bit and go with the flow and let my list of to-do things fall into the next day, and ultimately I ended up right here today on Saturday for my to-do list, it does generate a little sense of disappointment in myself. But immediately I tell myself and told myself, using positive thoughts of the right kind of thinking in my mind, or in other words, correct self-talk, I replace those feelings with feelings of success, supportiveness, and showing up as the husband I wanted to be and know that I can be. And that is something I'm always committed to working on. And so these last couple of days, that's what I did. Anyway, the next question that Croy asked is, what's the one thing out of all the things you did today, Marty, that you know you could improve on going forward? In other words, did you have or did you experience any failures today? And if so, are they something, or is it something you can turn into a tool of success going forward? Well, as I think about it, over the last couple of days, and especially I looked back on today, I obviously changed my focus from being entirely on getting lesson 9 done to focusing on my relationship with my wife and enjoying the spontaneity of it. I'm confident that I'm using all the tools that are in my success toolbox pretty consistently. And today I used a tool I just found a couple of days ago, my tool I call the common denominator of success. It's an article that teaches that successful people are willing to do those things that unsuccessful people are not willing to do. End of quote. I'm not going to talk much on this because I wanted to do a podcast on it. I'm going to do a podcast on it. And so just suffice it to say that I've been doing what I said I was going to do, and I'm doing today what many folks who want to be successful are not willing to, and that's to work on my dream the whole entire Saturday. The fact is, I have 6 Saturdays and a Sunday, and so today was just like the other 5 days before. So I love it. I love working on it, and that's what successful people do. The next question is, what was your biggest success you had today? My biggest success today was getting through building out lesson 9 segments without having major problems with each and every slide. It went really smoothly today, and that's because I'm really confident about this. It's because each preceding lesson that I've done, I've learned something that I'm now doing and using as I work on lesson 9 and the remaining 3 lessons that I have. I've eliminated most of those problems, and so I just bam, bam, bam went through it today. The next question Corey asked is, what's the one thing you did that made you feel successful today, Marty? Well, I really felt successful today when I saved lesson 9 over to a different hard drive, my outside hard drive from my laptop. I have this little hard drive to the side that I plug in, and I have been doing that now. So I didn't do that for the preceding lesson, but I did. I saved it there, as well as in my normal folder in my C drive that I've been doing all the other preceding lessons that way. And that way I was avoiding a whole host of issues, in particular losing it, and number 2, it changing over to a read-only file. And that really felt good, because after I saved it and recorded it, it's now up on my Google Drive. I went back, and those 2 were not read-only. Oh, what a heaven sent. The next question is, what movies did you watch in your mind today, Marty? Did you make time for them? Well, today's movies were definitely a part of my morning routine. However, like I've mentioned before, my nights, while I'm falling asleep and sleeping and waking up in the morning, are starting to produce some really fun, motivating movie clips of me coaching people. And I wake up feeling like I'm already coaching, and I'm loving it. So that's a great experience. Next, Croy asks, rate your day. And so I gave today a 9, and that's because I really did work at the speed of 9 today while building out that lesson 9. Speed of 9, building 9. I can't wait to get on with recording and building out the next lesson 10, craft your business story and approach. It's getting so close to get those full 12 lessons done. The next question is, if this was the only thing you get done tomorrow, but you'd still feel like a success, what would that one thing be? And now I'll put it into a power statement for tomorrow. Well, I want to get started on recording lesson 10. I'm also going through the stack of thoughts and papers I have written out and written down, and all the things I want to get done before I launch coaching my business. I've got quite a stack over here. As these ideas have come to me, I've written them down, and now it's time to organize and refine them so I can add them to my to-do list that I need to have done before I launch my business. And that's why I said that I will get started with building out lesson 9, which is starting recording. I have to get a few other things done while finishing up the remaining 3 lessons, so it's going to be a mix of both those things. Okay, let's end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. First of all, I'm grateful for my habits. I'm going to show these sheets to you here. You can see these sheets that I found. Anyhow, let me show you what I'm talking about there. Because of a habit I have of saving almost everything, especially as it relates to something to success, philosophy, or business, those business things that I have written or I've designed or I've read somewhere and saved, and these are examples of what I'm talking about. Excuse me. I can't tell you how many times that my gatekeeper amigo, who's the one that guards and keeps watch over the library of my mind, has reminded me of a note, an article, a quote, or brochure that I've saved a long time ago. He just knows it's in there. It's just one of my many habits I've acquired over the years. These are brochures of quotes I picked up, these ones right here, over 20 years ago. One of them is the total, let me find that, here it is. You can see it right there. See the title of that one right there. The common denominator of success. I talked about that earlier. And one of them, this common denominator of success I mentioned earlier, is one that I saved, like I said, over 20 years ago. In cleaning out some of the boxes in my office on Thursday and Friday, I came across this little stack of quotes, one of which was the very article that I had given my amigo the assignment to help remind me wherever I put it and when I did find it, to not forget it or let it go by, because I want to do a podcast on it. I asked them to help me with this. I sent the assignment out, and they've been working on it now for quite a while, because I thought it would be a fantastic topic for my Mindset of Is Everything podcast series. And sure enough, there it is in living color. So that's what I say and why I say I'm so grateful for my habits. Next, I'm grateful for the law of attitude. The law of attitude can be summed up with this quote by an unknown author. Quote, "The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on my life. Attitude to me," he says, "is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice, he goes on to say, every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. End quote. Isn't that a great quote? My goodness. Lastly, I'm grateful for principles themselves. Or should I say, I'm grateful for learning about principles such as those expressed by these men. Quote, Thomas Edison said, "Show me a thoroughly satisfied man and I'll show you a failure." St. Edmund, Archbishop of Canterbury, said, "Work as though you would live forever, but live as though you would die tomorrow." Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Nothing gives so much direction to a person's life as a set of sound principles." And lastly, J.C. Penney said, "Give me a stock clerk with a goal, and I'll give you a man who will make history. But give me a man without a goal, and I'll give you a stock clerk." Isn't that a great quote? Wow, principles are great, but only if we can get them, if we understand them. Anyway, there you go. Time to close this off. Just let me finish by saying that today was a great day of living the dream. I'll be back here tomorrow night, sitting right here at the same computer, sharing my feelings, sharing my day's journey to alignment on my living the dream path that I'm on. Until then, I wish you continued success. Good night.